Chapter 8 The Apology of Me A Tease I set fire to my front yard and it spread over into my neighbor's yard. I do not know their names or where they live or how to contact them. I borrowed my dad's truck and I can't be too sure, but I think I bent his bumper backing up at the gas station. He is dead now and I never told him because I didn't find out the bumper was bent until weeks later, and the uncertainty of whether it was my fault or not has loomed over me for 24 years now. When I was with the former employer, I looked at pornography on a work computer and the computer contracted an STD. There is nothing I can do to fix that computer either, as it is now antiquated and the company is likely long since gone bankrupt or sold out. I mistakenly told some of my followers that I knew Jerry Cantrell, but the truth is that I was really drunk at that concert and I don't think I actually met him or ever even shook his hand. My intention was to tell them that I knew somebody important, and in hindsight I realized that I was thinking of the time I met John S. Hall. To have mentioned that story about Hall would have been inappropriate in the most severe sense of the word, so I'm glad I told them it was somebody else I met. Besides, John doesn't remember me, or acknowledge his influence in my body of work anyway. He may be dead for all I know. This is a list exemplar. There is no remedy for this list. It is the stuff that happened. I'm not even sorry. If there was something I could do to make it right, then I would do it. But there is nothing. I love the nothingness of it. The nothingness is neither a relief, like a get-out-of-jail-free card, nor is it an impediment, such as concealing a gunshot wound from the police after a routine traffic stop having just robbed a liquor store a few blocks away. When Socrates was found in contempt and accused of corrupting the youth, do you think he was sorry? Do you think he was even surprised? It could easily be assumed that he was expecting condemnation and accusation for quite some time, as evidenced by his well-scripted, thoughtfully prepared sarcastic filibuster. So execute me, if you will. I also farted in church. But so did you. The premise I am attempting to introduce, which I'm sure you have already guessed, is as follows: that people always only ever do what they have to do because it makes sense to them at the time. And yes, you did predict my premise this time, admit it. But they still do these types of things and it causes other people harm. Sometimes the harm is minimal, like having to smell an unpleasant odor while simultaneously pretending to listen to an unpleasant sermon. Sometimes the harm is extreme, like having to plant new grass in your front yard, having to replace the bumper of your truck, or having to bury an old computer that died of a venereal disease. All of this harm is well and good and necessary, and it has been going on since before we had front yards, trucks, or computers. However, would it surprise you to know that it hasn't been going on since before we had church? Rather, it has been going on since the exact moment we had church. Oh, that's fine. Now you label me a heretic. What took you so long? As soon as you try to impose your morals and ethics on me, I will step on your toes. How did that happen? Things were going so well without guidelines. You're the one who introduced these new rules, so it's your fault. Fine, you win this round. We need some ethics. But how is it possible to live in this situation where people keep hurting each other and then we have to come up with new rules and enforce them so it won't happen again? What is the answer? It's impossible to live in this situation. That is why people die. People die trying to enforce the rules, people die breaking the rules, and people die trying to do the right thing and follow the rules. One of these three options will happen to you and to me and to everybody else. It doesn't matter which of the three options you choose because it's not your choice. Will we ever be able to prevent this harm or even adequately address it? This is insanity, and anarchy is even worse. I suggest that people get hurt because they have to, and others do the hurting because they have to. And we will never be able to prevent this no matter what we try, so it is all well and good and perfectly acceptable for spiritual beings as long as they are trapped in these meat suits that keep ordering us around like robots. This brings us back to the final question of this chapter that is burning in your mind now, and it is time to address it. How can this be acceptable, you ask? Please review the previous chapter and read up to this exact point again. Do it as many times as you need to. I'm not going anywhere.